Hello and welcome. Angela Meiritz-Reid here, Stampin' Up Demonstrator based in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm making this card here, which is for the Global Design Project this week. We've got a autumn fall theme. All the products I've used are available at my online store and will be listed at the end of this video. I've also created a PDF tutorial which is available via my blog, and I'll pop the link down below too. If you've not subscribed to my channel, I'd love you to subscribe. Each week I create a card for the Global Design Project, so that's always on here, and there are other videos I pop up too. To get started, I've got a card base of Blushing Bride. Just fold that in half and burnish that along the edge. And then the next layer I've got is another one with the Blushing Bride, and I've just embossed it with the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So just bring that over. Just bring my machine over. Just put that in there. And run that through. This is my go-to folder, just to create a lovely little background, just fairly subtle. And also I like it because it's fairly neutral, it's neither sort of masculine or feminine, it works on any card. So I just want to pop that on some dimensionals, so I'm just going to use the edges. I find they're quite good for covering big areas without having to pull off a zillion backs. Just raiding my little container with these in, so just pull those off the edge. You just want to get a nice coverage of dimension over the whole back. So probably just one more little strip. Put that in there. Just wipe the backs off of those. And then that just needs popping up on there. Get it nice and even. And that's done. Then the next layer is just this rectangle here, which I've just got on my wee mini machine. And what I find, if you pop it on a slight angle, which doesn't give you much room on the smaller ones, but just goes through a little bit more smoothly, don't get that clunking. It's dry cut, ready to go. Let's get myself got a bit skew with there. Just peel that carefully off back there. Just pop that out. And then what I've done on the back of that is I've just flicked a little bit of the marker just to add a little bit of interest to the back. Just flick that on there, and I find it hasn't damaged the nibs at all, so that's good. And then that is going to go onto there, and it's going to have dimensionals as well. I'll see if I've got any more of those. Oh, actually what I do have, which is another quite a good idea, these are the foam sheets, and I've just cut them up into smaller pieces. That works quite well for covering larger areas. You can even chop those up a little bit more just to fill in some of those gaps. See? Just take the backs off those. And then that, just want to put that sort of in the middle of that too. It looks fairly even. And then I've got a smaller piece again to stamp this image. So what I've done is my Blushing Bride is quite wet because I did re-ink it, and so what I did with this stamp is I just used my Stampin' Right marker, the Pear Pizzazz, and I just coloured the stems. That. So it was super quick and easy. And then I got a dauber and just added the ink to the stamp. Hopefully got good coverage there. And then I brought in the Calypso Coral and really didn't use much at all on this. Just a little bit of a taste of it on the edges, just to add that little bit of an autumnal feel. Then stamp that down onto here. So there you can see, so just really lightly around the edges, and then that just needs fussy cutting, and it's not too hard to fussy cut if you're worried about that. It's fairly smooth cutting, not too many fiddly little bits. Another option you could do is just stamp it onto the rectangle, or a slightly smaller one, whatever size fitted, or a different shape altogether, any shape that or size that would fit this whole image. I like giving it another bit more dimension and a bit of movement too, when you don't sort of adhere it totally down. Otherwise, if you're not a fussy cutter, you could choose another stamp set that does have coordinating dies or a punch and use that. This layout will work for lots of different stamps and dies. A few curves on this leaf. I do like fussy cutting, so I'm always hoping somebody give me a little job doing it. No offers yet. So just yes, our theme's autumnal, but it's a little bit hard here because in the South Pacific we're heading into summer, warmer weather, which we're really looking forward to. The sun is shining today, which is always nice. No wind. Quite often it can be a little bit of a cold wind. So I thought the Blushing Bride was a little bit of a compromise to not being totally autumn-ish. Just add that little bit of pumpkin pie. Could use other colours, Cajun Crazy, any of those sort of colours. Just want to be careful not to go right through there, that would be annoying. So just around here. Always cut off those bits that, excuse me, might get in the way when you're doing a bit of fussy cutting. That does help. So just get into that last little corner. Yay, it's done. And that needs adhering, so what I want to do is just add some of this more mini ones. Actually, they're even going to be too big, so I'll just use, I've got some little half ones. So I always cut my sheets up into these smaller little squares to fit in a container, so it means I have little half ones, which are really handy for smaller areas. And then some of the bigger ones. There we go. I'll just pop those, get those sort of spread, so I've got a nice even so it's not saggy. Just a couple more. Okay, got those all off, and then just bring it back in here and just work out roughly what sort of angle you want it. Pop that down there, and then I've got some of the gold trim, which is from the Simply Elegant. There's silver and the gold, which is lovely. Give a nice firm pull. Just pull that down a little bit just to get the size that you want. And I quite often just do this to make sure I've got my loops the same length. And then just pop a glue dot. I'm going to tuck that down in there. Just sitting down in that wee groove. It's got a bit of the extra something. Off. And then these can be trimmed too, they've got a bit long. And then I'm going to do the sentiment, and the fonts in the set are gorgeous. I love that font, and handy sentiments too. So I've got the wee hello there, and I'm just going to emboss that in gold. Just my gold in here, so I'm just a very big bit of paper, so I just need to be careful, and just heat emboss that, so it won't in a moment. I'm just looking to see where, oh, here we are. Got my Stampin' Up tweezers, which are very helpful, so just hold on to that there. Take long, and then I just want to trim that to make that a little bit smaller, so I'll just bring in my little trimmer. Sometimes it's hard with these to know to get them exactly straight. Hopefully nobody's going to be critiquing me too much on that. And then I just want to pop this over here, so I'm going to tuck in a dimensional just in under here, to lift that up to the same level, and then I might just use a glue dot on the other side. Pop that down there. Hopefully that will be high enough to clear, just to clear the bow, the knot in the bow. And yep, that's good. And then lastly, I've used these gorgeous little gold and sparkly sequins, and I don't know if you've seen these in the catalogue. They're For Everything Fancy sequins, and it comes in here, and there are all these gorgeous pink ones, these ones with the green colours, and these in the blue. So lots and lots of gorgeous little sequins in those packs. I was quite excited when I got that. So then I've just added a little bit of glue. I'll pop this in a slightly different place this time, so I'll just pop them in slightly different places too. So just trim that end a little bit. So I've got one of those sparkly ones there. Just going to see, it's got silver and gold with it. Tuck that on there. I want some of the gold ones, so and it's like one of those games, isn't it, where you have the machine and you go in and pick up something, hope you pick up the right thing. So I'll just put another one down there. And one more up there. And that is my card for this week. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as I said before, if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe. I do a new video every week doing the global design, and also on a Friday I do a Facebook Live and I upload that here, and we also do Stamping Society, so lots of things to see. And yeah, thanks for watching. It was lovely to have you here. Bye for now.